Katunda. Nous sommes ici à Washington, D.C. C'est vraiment le rendez-vous qui a été prévu pour les business partners, tous les Américains, les Congolais américains et les Congolais qui habitent, résidents ici aux États-Unis sont présents dans cette salle. Donc nous sommes au National Press Club où l'événement va se dérouler dans les minutes qui suivent. Nous avons donc une liste des panélistes, des gens locaux d'ici des États-Unis. Nous avons les chefs d'entreprise américains et nous avons aussi un représentant du côté de l'agence congolaise qui est là, notre frère compatriote Nzinga. Alors dans la salle, comme vous pouvez le constater, il y a eu un grand monde. Il y avait au moins 200 personnes qui sont venues de plusieurs coins des États-Unis, de Californie à New York, de Washington à Dallas, parmi lesquels nous étions là pour représenter donc les grands states de Texas, et nous étions là dans le compte de RGTV Network. Et la question qui doit être posée, c'est pourquoi nous sommes là? Nous sommes là effectivement parce que c'est une rencontre entre les businessmen américains, lesquels sont déjà pointés pour représenter les États-Unis au Congo. Donc ceux qui vont investir au Congo. Ils sont ici dans la salle au National Press Club pour parler aux Congolais, aux Américains congolais et le reste de la population qui veut aller travailler au Congo. Donc ils sont là. C'est une session informationnelle pour aider à l'opinion nationale pour savoir ce qui se passe au Congo et ce qui se fera là-bas. Donc nous avons toutes sortes de personnes ici dans la salle, les businessmen, les gens des organisations non gouvernementaux et toute autre personne qui est intéressée à faire business au Congo. Et les panélistes sont les grands PDG ou les CEO des compagnies américaines qui sont ici aux États-Unis. Et le tout sera coordonné par M. Eric Schultz, qui est l'ambassadeur des États-Unis en Zambie, l'ancien ambassadeur des États-Unis en Zambie, qui est diplomate de carrière ici à Washington. Donc suivez les images de ce qui se dit dans la salle aujourd'hui. Le point essentiel tourne tout autour de l'investissement dans le cadre du partnership ou le partenariat entre les États-Unis et la République démocratique du Congo, avec focus sur le minerai rare qui seront exploités à l'est du Congo et aussi à travers d'autres activités qui se feront sur place au Congo. Suivez donc.
The joy of life of Mozambicans to the dignity and hustle of the youth and the common man that we've met in the Congo. It's a place that you see opportunity everywhere. And that's why we're here today, is to talk about that opportunity. Where does that opportunity take us and how do we get there? So the opportunity, I've had discussions with African officials several times where they said what Africa needs is a Marshall Plan.
It's a new opening for the US in the DRC. It's a new era, just like my good sister says. We're starting a new chapter to deal with the US in a win-win situation where the country wins and investor win with all fairness.
Good. Thank you.
Acheter des parts dans des entreprises prêtes ou cherchant à investir au Congo. En achetant des parts, nous faisons partie de ces investisseurs qui reviennent dans le Congo. Et cela nous donnera la visibilité sur ce système économique international, avec une vision claire, bien sûr, en achetant, avec une vision claire de faire une synergie économique. Plus nous sommes nombreux, plus nous gagnons les terrains chez nous au Congo. Plus nous gagnons les terrains chez nous au Congo, plus nous tenons notre économie, tout en restant connectés avec le monde. Le message est si simple que ça.
Mesdames et messieurs, merci beaucoup de nous suivre. Nous continuons de dire que maintenant, nous allons vous proposer une interview exclusive qui m'a été accordée. En tout cas, j'ai vérifié dans la salle, personne d'autre ne l'a eu. J'étais le seul à avoir cette interview. Dans le cadre, effectivement, de la presse, nous avons eu cette interview avec M. KARL von Batten, qui représente les lobbying firms qui aident la République démocratique du Congo à pouvoir influencer le gouvernement américain à travers le Congrès américain et la Maison-Blanche au même moment. Le monsieur s'appelle KARL von Batten. Au début, il ne voulait pas parler. Je me suis présenté. Il s'est rappelé de moi puisqu'on était aussi ensemble à la dernière conférence de presse le 27 juillet à Washington, D.C. Et c'est comme ça que nous avions pu parler. Il a promis de faire 3 questions, mais suivez cette interview, je crois qu'on est allé au-delà de 7 à 8 questions, lesquelles il a répondu. Il a parlé de ce qui se passe maintenant au niveau des États-Unis. Il a condamné Kagame, que lui a traité de celui qui veut saboter donc, le processus de deal minier, et il est contre tout ce que Kagame fait. Effectivement, le travail qu'il fait, le monsieur, c'est qu'il influence Trump, il influence non seulement la Maison-Blanche et tous ceux qui travaillent à la Maison-Blanche, mais il influence aussi le Congrès américain qui est à majorité républicain pour qu'il puisse continuer à travailler avec le Congo et qu'on puisse aboutir au deal. Bien entendu, avant qu'on arrive au deal minier, on doit passer par l'accord officiel entre les 2 présidents. Je dirais donc le président Tshisekedi Félix du Congo et le président Paul Kagame du Rwanda. Alors, on arrivera à cette étape-là, ça va se faire, et après cette étape, on arrive donc à la signature du deal. Suivez ce que M. KARL von Batten va dire dans cette interview, c'est très 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 important. Merci de suivre.
Hello, my name is Dr. KARL von Batten. I am the founder of Von Batten Montague York. We are a Republican lobbying firm here in Washington, D.C. We're very strong aligned and big supporters of President Trump and his agenda in Africa. And we're a lobbying firm, which means we advocate for our clients' positions in Congress and the White House.
Mm-hmm. And when you advocate for Congo in Congress, now we just learned that there's 52 Democrats that put a letter in there, and they are asking the Trump administration to consider the letter. What do you have to say about that?
Actually, we met with Democrats last week about the letter, and we've come to an understanding. Democrats just want to be involved. They're not opposed to the deal. They're not. They want to ensure that you have certain safeguards, like in child labor laws, the environment. And so we had a wonderful meeting with members of Congress who are Democrats, and they told us very clearly we support the deal, but we just want some more information. And we are meeting again with them next week, and we just keep talking and providing them more information. But what I was told straight from Democrats on the Hill was that no, they support the deal. They just want to ensure we have safeguards to be more involved in what's going on.
Are they basing everything on Dodd-Frank law? That came on?
No, not really. No, you have to understand politics.
Yeah.
You know, when Trump supports something, people will hate it, no matter how good it is. And I'm not saying this is all Democrats, but there's some few people who are like that who are opposing this deal because of President Trump. But what I call the vast majority of Democrats, what I was told, support this deal. And all they want to do is to ensure they have safeguards. And we had a really amazing meeting last week. And so we're on the same page now. I mean, again, my firm, my clients, the different mining companies, and so we're on the same page. And we'll keep engaging with Democrats and trying to ensure they have all the information they need to make informed decisions.
I see. And the peace accord that was signed in Washington between the 2 ministers of foreign affairs, I was there at the Astoria hotel when I interviewed Madame
Wagner.
Yeah, Wagner. Do you have a sense that it's actually progressing? It's going well on the ground? The way Rwanda and Congo are interpreting the deal, I mean the peace accord from both sides?
Yeah, I mean, so I was there at the Waldorf when we had the meeting with the foreign minister. She's amazing. She's amazing. I mean, she works really, really hard. The issue is not the RC or the US. The issue is Kagame. Kagame is trying to sabotage the deal. He understands that when you have peace in the RDC, it doesn't make money. Rwanda steals the DRC's resources. I mean, and when you have, and so when you have war, you can steal things easily. In his mind, in some insane way, he believes he owns the DRC's resources. No, they belong to the people of Congo, not to Kagame. And so I'm not surprised we have some unfortunate killing yesterday in Eastern DRC. Anytime you see any progression, there's always this. Kagame is trying to sabotage the partnership. He's trying to sabotage the peace deal. This is all Kagame. It is all we see. Everyone in DC, everyone understands this. This is Kagame, and we cannot trust him. And the world should come behind President Trump and sanction him deeply.
Speaking about that, there's a Republican senator that had introduced a section, an amendment that he wants to one of the Senate laws to sanction the M23, because this is what we're talking about now. We already know Rwanda and the RDF are on the way out of Congo, but M23 has weapons. I mean, they got weapons from the FRDC, and they're using it now against the population. What do you think going to happen at this point with M23?
They've been sanctioned. President Trump has sanctioned a lot of their moneymakers, a lot of the troop movement, because you have to sanction them to stop the weapons. Yeah. And because again, you can't really sanction M23. It's a very loose faction where you can go after those who fund it, who run it. But again, it goes back to Kagame. He's the one who runs M23. Clearly and day as night. I believe, again, this is my opinion, that they get their instructions from Rwanda. So when you see them, when you see the attacks, I truly believe that's coming from Kagame. It's a way to spoil things. Again, his entire objective is to ensure that this proposed US-DRC mineral deal doesn't happen. That's why I believe he's going to try and do anything to stop it. But again, the US government has sanctioned M23, the leadership, and people of money. We've also sanctioned Kagame's money man. And I worked on that sanction, so I know very clearly. And so again, I truly believe to have peace, we have to go after Kagame. We have to sanction him, because as long as he's allowed to do what he's going to do, this war will not stop.
Do you think that's the next step to sanction?
That should be next step. Okay. I know there's some pushback from State Department, some pushback from some people in the White House, but I'll keep making that argument, and I intend to go back to Congress, my friends there on the Republican side, to push for sanctions against Kagame. We'll get it. Not too sure, because again, he's the sitting head of state, but we can put some massive pressure on his family, his associates, to ensure he complies and he backs off.
Congressman Ronnie Jackson, I met him yesterday.
Yeah, great guy.
At the DFW airport. He's been at the eastern side of Congo, and then of course in Kinshasa, where he met President Felix Tshisekedi. His reading of what's happening in the eastern Congo is that sometimes we have to deal with M23 and try to work with them. That was his assessment before the peace accord in Washington. Do you think we have a few Republicans in Congress who believe what he believes?
Well, you have to understand that, again, Ronnie Jackson is a great guy, amazing guy. But again, Rwanda has amazing lobbyists. Yeah. It's a joke in Congress. Open your door, it's always the Rwanda lobbyists around. They're always constantly selling the same thing. And they have been able to convince very few members of Congress that they're on the right side. And as you can tell, when Ronnie Jackson was in DRC, he now left for Rwanda.
Yes, he went to Kigali.
He went to Rwanda. Yeah. Again, the Rwandan lobbyists have been effective in lobbying him to see things their side, And so the key, is we need to double our strength and ensure that we present the case to Congress as it is in real life, not some fantasy from Rwanda. Because what Ronnie was told to me was a lie. He was lied to. And when he went to DRC, I sent an email to the DRC government saying, we didn't send him. Yeah. he's not coming from Trump or the White House.
Oh, yeah.
We made it very clear. But it was too late. He was already there.
Because they were already there. And he
was already there.
People thought he came from Trump administration.
I personally sent an email to members of the DLC government saying, we didn't send this guy.
He's there as a parliamentary.
You know, even the State Department had no clue who was there.
Oh.
He went on his own accord, which he's allowed to do. You know, but again, Rodney went with an open mind, but one of the lobbies had got to him.
Yeah.
And again, you can't blame him. He can only hear one side.
Yeah.
It is our job to tell him the other side.
Now, will your lobby firm be able to get all the Republicans on board? Because
we do.
We have both chambers.
We have the numbers. We have the numbers. I'm not concerned about Republican Congress members on this issue.
What about the timing? Because what about if Kagame dragged this thing all the way to the midterm election next year?
It's all in God's hands, you know. But I would say
I love to hear that.
It's all in God's hands. But I truly believe that that the DRC government, their friends in Congress, the lobbying groups who support them, are doing everything possible to ensure we address this issue. Your foreign minister is amazing. I've met her a few times. She is always working. I've seen her at 6 in the morning working. You know, I mean, you know, and your president is an amazing fellow. He's trying to end this. He wants peace. One thing he said, we had this meeting with him and Chairman Mass, who's the chairman of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, and we're also impressed because he said, my legacy is to ensure that DRC is producing its own metals. Yeah. We're not just mining, we're refining it here. And we're also building you know, cell phones. Tell me, there is nothing stopping the DRC from making cell phones. Apple Computer, Samsung should all open factories in the DRC because, again, that's where the minerals are there. It's cheaper. Right. And it's our job to sell that story to those companies. And that's why we just had this event, to ensure that we have average Congolese touching U.S. companies, talking to them directly, no wall, no filter, talk to them directly, become partners, and work for the benefit of Congo.
Now, will your lobbyist firm be able to set up a bridge between those American companies that want to go invest?
And that's what we're doing.
And the labor, the workforce that we have here, qualified, Congolese American, who understand both cultures and the language.
And that's what we're doing. So next week, hopefully, it'll be done. We are building this website where anyone from the Congo can go and say, this is my name, this is what I do, this is why I want to help here. So it's like a resume. So this company can actually have it. Because a company in New York has no access to a person in DRC. We intend to use tech to change all that. That's why we have today. We have Core Bodies here, which is a Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates company-backed company. We have, Vitrus. We have companies who are willing to hire Congolese in the DRC and change the DRC forever.
That's right.
You know, because trust me, this will not work to have Congolese and Americans come in to work together hand to hand. Not the government. It has to be the people of Congo with Americans.
Would that be the answer to the corruption we've been talking about? If we can avoid the government entities and work directly with the private?
Well, the government has a role to play.
Yeah.
You know, they're the government. But I think it should be more the American model where we don't see the White House getting involved in business.
Yeah.
That's company to company.
That's right.
We should import the American sense of business to the DRC and ensure that you have people and companies without the government working together.
Yeah.
The government's role is to ensure it's a fair playing field, that we all obey the law. But the government, it's not the government's role to build a road. That's private industry.
Yeah.
And I hope by God's grace that we can get the U.S. mindset in the DRC, because the DRC is the richest country in the world.
Absolutely.
But happens to be poor.
Yeah.
It's a shame.
It's a big
and by God's grace, I believe in 25 years, the DRC will be Dubai or Saudi Arabia. It's going to happen.
Maybe one of the last questions. Do you believe the U.S. deal or the U.S. negotiation between Russia and Ukraine will influence what you're doing to help the Congo to get this deal signed?
President Trump is amazing. He can actually think 7 times at the same time. And so it's not connected. He's thinking about the Ukraine, the DRC, all in separate thoughts. And I'm not joking. When I see him, I'm like, dude, you should rest. He doesn't sleep. He's always working. And people are scared because we all know is if this deal doesn't go through, we're all getting fired.
I know, right?
Because President Trump wants it to happen, and we're all by God's grace going to execute it to make sure this happens.
Okay. All right, but see, so the next step will be the website you will create.
Yes, we're going to create a website now and launch it to ensure that everyone in the RC, over here in America too, can go there and put their information, and Cobalt and these companies have access to it to say, okay, engineer, we can hire you. We need to do this.
Yeah, and there will be also some companies that actually specialize in preparing, helping people to prepare their resume.
Same concept, like, we have to make it very local.
Yeah.
This will not work till we get the
There's a few companies local here that do that, put the resume together and have just like a LinkedIn type of.
Yeah, it's a partnership.
Yeah.
We have to work together.
Yeah.
No man can solve this alone.
Yeah.
We all have to come together, Americans and Congolese, to fix this problem, and I believe we're going to do it.
All right, thank you so much. We're going to have this on our French program, which will translate everything you said, and also on our English programming. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. You are watching RGTV. This is the #1 of Von Batten, Montague, in New York. This is the lobbyist firm that works here in Washington, helping the Democratic Republic of Congo. One more word to the president, Felix Tshisekedi. Do you have anything you want to say to
May God protect you, because we all know what you're doing, and we know that you have enemies trying to stop you. We pray that God puts his hand on you and protect you, so you can actually achieve greatness for Congo. Because I've seen you talk, I know what you think about, and I know your heart is about helping the people of Congo, and may God bless you and protect you, and keep you from those who are trying to see Congo fail.
Thank you so much, sir. It was a pleasure to have
a pleasure.
An exclusive interview right here at the National Press Club, Washington, D.C. I'm Franklin Katunda with RGTV Network. Et mesdames et messieurs, merci d'avoir suivi cet reportage. Nous allons continuer de le faire pour vous satisfaire. Je vous dis qu'il y aura plein d'événements qui vont se passer encore à Washington. Bien entendu, il y aura la signature du traité de paix. Après cela, nous aurons aussi à espérer qu'il y aura donc la signature de cet accord minier. Vous avez entendu M. Von Batten, il est sérieux par rapport à cela. Il sait que Trump dort jour et nuit, il parle que du Congo. J'ai l'impression qu'au niveau des États-Unis, d'après ce que j'ai compris, que ce deal de paix, que l'accord de paix soit signé formellement entre le président Kagame et le président Félix Tshisekedi. Je pense que la Maison-Blanche ne s'occupe même pas de ça. S'ils trouvent qu'il y a toujours entrave au niveau du Rwanda, je pense qu'ils vont s'occuper eux-mêmes du Rwanda et ils vont amener le président Tshisekedi à signer le deal minier. C'est du moins ce qui ressort de ce que j'ai entendu dans tout le milieu à Washington et aussi de l'interview que j'ai eue avec le PDG de cette lobbying firm, le Von Batten, Montague et York. Ils sont en train d'être vraiment sérieux là-dessus. Vous l'avez suivi dans son interview, il était en train de parler de Kagame, dans le sens qu'il doit être sanctionné directement en tant que personne. Non seulement ça, il a parlé de Kagame, il a parlé de sa famille, de ses proches. Il a dit qu'il faut, lui, en tant que lobbyiste, est en train de parler au président Trump et aussi au gouvernement américain et le Congrès pour qu'on puisse sanctionner Kagame directement là où ça fait mal. De telle sorte que quand il va sentir que ça fait mal, qu'il puisse lâcher la guerre et puis arrêter de soutenir le M23 qui est maintenant en train de continuer à tuer au Congo. Et il a insisté sur quelque chose qui est sorti de cette interview, que les Rwandais sont très très bien organisés quand il s'agit du lobbyisme. Ils font du lobbyisme chaque jour à Washington. Et lui, avec son groupe de lobby, il est en train de travailler contre leur lobby. C'est ce qui se passe maintenant. Donc, mesdames et messieurs, le gars que vous avez suivi dans cette interview est un monsieur très, très important. Vous allez voir la photo d'archives que nous avons. Il a pris cette photo avec M. Trump à la Maison-Blanche lorsque Trump est devenu président. Donc, c'est quelqu'un qui parle avec le président des États-Unis chaque jour sans gêne parce qu'il est effectivement de la maison. Il est républicain, il est chrétien il sert au niveau donc, de ce lobby pour pouvoir aider que ce deal passe. Et il était positif quand je parlais avec lui. Il nous a juste après invité à un restaurant pour qu'on aille manger ensemble. Et c'est un gars qui est sérieux, qui aime vraiment être prêt avec les Congolais, être tout près d'eux, parler avec eux et se faire des amis parmi les Congolais. Voilà pourquoi il nous a donné cette interview. Merci de nous suivre et comme je l'ai dit au début, nous vous promettons les prochains événements à Washington. Nous serons là dans le compte de RGTV Network. Continuez de nous suivre ici aux États-Unis et aussi à Kinshasa, République démocratique du Congo. Merci.